Thank you to the Sunshines and the Comans for this whole weekend, and we've been all looking forward to it for a long time, and we're so excited it's actually happening. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Neal. Doug and I have been best friends since college. It's really actually hard to believe that it's almost 10 years to the day that we first met. Now before I go any further, I just want to congratulate Blake on the name change. I know girls can get very concerned with that sort of thing, but Blake, you really lucked out with Sunshine. So ambiguous and plain, I mean. Looking back over the years, I was reminded of our first day freshman year of college moving in, when I met Doug. I remember it like it was yesterday. Doug lived across the hall from me. His door was open as I was bringing my stuff in, and he was putting the finishing touches on his room. He was wearing a brand new Fish t-shirt. He had just finished hanging a huge Grateful Dead poster over his desk, and was now making sure his high school senior yearbook and his summer camp photo album were stacked neatly right next to his bed. Doug and I hit it off pretty quickly. I think being the only two kids on our floor we knew from New York City had a lot to do with that. We each had a bit of a chip on our shoulder, meeting all these kids from the suburbs. To be honest though, we softened our stances and quickly learned a lot from these suburbanites. I would say things like keg stands and beer funnels played a big part in it. We ended up pledging the same fraternity, and we went abroad to Belgium together. Doug actually played an important role in the beginning of my own marriage. We lived across the hall from each other our senior year, and Doug always woke up early on the weekends. And usually he would come to my room to wake me up when he felt like going for brunch. And we had a kind of a relationship like that. It was slightly dysfunctional. Well, on this morning, my future wife, Rachel, had slept over. Now at the time, Rachel and I had gone on a few dates, but Doug did not really know her that well, maybe met her once or twice. I had a loft in my room, so he couldn't see us as he walked in, but assumed it was the normal procedure of me just laying there. So he opens the door and proceeds to throw random things from my desk and pillows from the couch at us and yell, "Wake up, dude, it's time for breakfast." Well, next thing he knows, Rachel sits up kind of frazzled and says, "Hi, Doug." Well, I know he felt pretty embarrassed in the situation. He actually broke the ice for me. I never did thank you for that, though. By the time Doug met Blake, we were living together after college on 18th Street in Stuyvesant Town. I could tell Doug liked Blake, but as the standard protocol with guys, he really wasn't saying too much about it just yet. Now, everyone who knows Doug knows that he has a very close relationship with his cell phone, and is on it all the time, and has been since the day I met him. Now, what people don't know, though, is that typically it is one of 4 people on the other end. Michael, Mom, Dad, and Nana. As I started to hear Blake on the other end more and more, where Doug began to uncharacteristically close his door for those early romantic conversations, I knew this relationship was different. Doug, Rachel, and I had all become very close by the time that we were living in Stuyvesant Town, and she was over the apartment a lot. Now that could be a very intimidating situation for a new girl coming in, but with Blake, it really wasn't. She fit in comfortably, did not take herself too seriously, and most importantly, you could tell from the very beginning how much you liked Doug and how much you cared about him. Now, when writing a speech like this, my first instinct was to try and find stories to make everyone laugh and clown on Doug a little bit. And while I hope I've succeeded at that to some extent, the things that really stood out to me were actually not really funny at all. Like when our friend Tyson, the big guy over there, injured himself on spring break. Don't ask. Doug was there in the ambulance, ready to help pay for whatever was needed. When I unfortunately was in the hospital, he was the first person to come see me. When you need a favor, he will do whatever he can to help. He is truly thoughtful and concerned about others. Now, Blake is a beautiful, kind, and loving person, And I think it's evident to everybody here today that Doug married way out of his league. But what Blake has found is a genuine, caring, and honest person named Doug. I'm proud to call Doug a friend, proud to call him a best friend. I wish you both a lifetime of adventure, health, and happiness. Please, everybody, just toast the beautiful couple.
Neal!
Are you still recording your...
Still recording? Well done.